Hey guys, it's Sharon from Digital Nomad Quest, and today we're going to go over the ultimate guide for blogging success. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm all about teaching you how to build passive income, become financially free, and design your best lives. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit that bell button to be notified of my latest videos. So now let's get right into it. Honestly, there's so much to blogging. It's like a legit business that you would have to be running, and it's not just about writing. So I'm trying to break it down as much as possible into these 11 steps, but there's so many different specific details when it comes to blogging. But I'm gonna try my best to summarize it for you guys so you guys know what you're getting into when it comes to blogging for success. Now let's just get right into it. Number one, you gotta make sure you think about your niche. So before you begin, you wanna make sure you have some direction into where you're going, because there's so many bloggers these days, there's so many blogs out there that's gonna be hard to stand out, to be honest. It is pretty saturated, but you can still do it. But you just need to make sure that you are an expert in your niche, right? You don't want to be spread out super thin where people just don't feel like you're an expert in any different area. You want to make sure that you're talking about something where people are like, oh, this person just keeps making really good content around this certain topic, and they're gonna just keep coming to you because you have that brand recognition. So number two, you want to make sure you are blogging for passion. You don't want to start a blog with just money in mind. You actually want to avoid that at all costs, because if you're trying to blog to make money, it's just not going to be good, because you're going to burn out no matter what. So I've seen other bloggers who just quit pretty quickly when they don't see results in the first few months or something like that, because they just think, this is not working, I don't really care about what I'm writing about, and it's getting tedious. So you want to avoid that, and the way you avoid that is you want to make sure what you're doing is actually fun for you. So you got to pick something that you actually care about so that you can enjoy the process, because it's a long game with blogging, and you want to make sure you get into it for the right reasons, and then the money will come later as a secondary thing for you. So make sure that you're blogging for fun and blogging for passion. Number three, you also want to make sure your blog brings value. So there's some people who kind of create personal blogs where they just blog about their lives. That is cool, right? But if you are trying to monetize your blog, this is something you got to consider. You know, if you're thinking you want readers and stuff like that, you want to make sure what you're talking about is either entertaining for them or educational for them, and usually around a specific topic, so that people will always come to you for that topic, which relates back to tip number one. But basically, yes, you can talk a bit about yourself, you can talk about your journey for sure. It's actually engaging for people to know the blogger. But ultimately, if you're not like a celebrity or someone who people will follow already because they already know you, they're not going to be as interested in your life. You want to make sure you're bringing some type of value towards them, where they're actually getting some benefit from reading your content. Now, number four, this is kind of obvious, but you want to make sure you start, okay? So make sure you set up your hosting and your domain and WordPress. Some people recommend other platforms, but no, I actually recommend getting started with WordPress right away, because you want to think long-term, right? And WordPress is the best for SEO and customization. Now, check out my previous video when it comes to setting up your blog and kind of setting up your WordPress, your hosting, your domains, and stuff like that, because it has all the instructional material on that, and it's not going to take long. And honestly, the process only takes under 10 minutes, and my videos will explain everything around that so that you don't need to feel overwhelmed about how complicated you think it might be, because it's actually very simple. But if you already know how to do that, make sure to check out my links below when it comes to the hosting and domain. So I use HostGator for hosting, and I use Namecheap for my domain. Other people use Bluehost. I'm gonna link that there too. And I have explored both of those hosting platforms, and they're both pretty good, but just know that I advocate HostGator as I use that for my hosting purposes. Number five, you're gonna want to put up your theme and kind of design your blog. Now, don't worry about this too much, but you want to make sure you put something up there. So WordPress has a bunch of free themes that you can kind of choose. I first started off with morning theme, which worked perfectly well for me, but ultimately I kind of later upgraded everything over and over again, and that's going to be what it's going to be like for you. So with designing your blog, you're going to keep upgrading your blog as you understand what people want, you understand what people look for when it comes to your navigation bar, you understand what people want on the front of your homepage. Like, it's just gonna change a lot. So don't worry about it too much, but ultimately these things can change later. Free themes are really easy to put up and then kind of start doing. When it comes to design tips, you wanna make sure it's clean, concise, really easy to read. I would say big fonts are really good. Your navigation bar should be super accessible. These are things to look out for. And also another thing to look out for is that paid themes are way more customizable. So if you want to just get right into it right off the bat, you can start with a paid theme. I would say though, if you don't want to overcomplicate the process, just go with the free theme. Try the morning theme. Don't worry too much about the looks. Just start getting that content out there, get comfortable with blogging so that you can start upgrading later and later. Number 6, you're gonna need to crank out those blog posts, right? And when you're cranking out those blog posts, make sure that when you're writing those paragraphs, make it around 2 to 5 lines per paragraph. Some people just keep writing one-liners and enter. And I think that works because a lot of like big bloggers do that. I just don't personally like that look for myself, but I sometimes do one-liners for sure as kind of an emphasis point. Make sure your paragraphs when it comes to blogs are shorter. 2 to 5 sentences are pretty good. People get lost when it's like really long blocks of text in a big paragraph because it's just a lot to consume. When you break it up into smaller chunks, it's going to be easier for people to read. Number 7, you want to write consistently. Once a week is kind of minimum, I would say. 3 a week is ideal if you can keep up with it, but make sure it's something you can actually keep up with, right? You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. So first, think about what your schedule looks like. Think about how much you can handle and then go from there. If you can only handle once a week, then go for once a week. Make sure your posts are quality because, to be honest, quality matters over quantity when it comes to blogging, but you want to make sure you are doing it consistently. So if once a week is all you can handle, then go for it. Just make sure your blog posts look good. The reason why I say I think quality matters more is that if you can have like this long post, maybe like a 9,000 word post, that is like the ultimate guide when it comes to a certain topic. So maybe you dive into that topic super comprehensively and you are that skilled expert in that topic where people want to come to you and read that freaking comprehensive article, then people are just going to keep coming back to you. You're going to have long page time on your blog. You're going to have people not bouncing off of your blog, which helps your SEO. So I'll get into SEO more later, but that's why quality matters more, because that one piece that you've worked so hard on can go viral because people are going to keep sharing it, as well as it's going to rank really high on Google search. So to sum that up, quality and quantity matter. Quality might matter more, but as long as you are consistent with your blogging, then Google will favor you. So figure out how much you want to write per week. Number 8, you want to make sure you start collecting emails. Now, I really advocate ConvertKit, but if you are just starting out and you don't want to pay, then you could start out with MailChimp, which is free. Honestly, I do now believe in kind of starting off with the best stuff. So I do believe in starting off with ConvertKit because you can basically create these automated funnels. You can create email sequences. You can segment your lists. There's so many things when it comes to it. I will hopefully go dive into email marketing more on my channel, but make sure you try those out. I'm going to link those resources below. Number 9, SEO is key. Back in the day, people might be able to get away with not understanding SEO and kind of just writing whatever because it wasn't as saturated. Now that it's saturated, you want to make sure that you are kind of ranking for certain keywords that people are searching for. So if you don't know by now, SEO means search engine optimization. So you want to optimize your blog posts to be ranked well on Google so that whenever people are searching for like blogging tips or how to get good at blogging, you're going to rank on the first page or whatever for those terms. Obviously, those terms are going to be super hard to rank for, but the more you actually care about these things, you might use like Keyword Planner, Ahrefs, other tools like that where you kind of search for those terms and see the monthly volume in searches and competition and stuff like that. The more you use those tools, the better your blog posts are for visibility. And you want to make sure that your blog is visible for people because it's not fun when you're writing a bunch of stuff that no one's going to read. Number 10, you also want to use Pinterest. Pinterest is another tool I talked about in a previous video why Pinterest I think is very powerful for marketing your business or blog. But basically, Pinterest is essentially another kind of Google search but for images. So you can create these long images on Pinterest that link to blog articles of your own. And then if you're ranking well on Pinterest, you're gonna be able to get a lot of traffic on your blog because people can actually save those pins on their own boards. They can also kind of share those pins. So pins actually have a longer lifespan. So it's actually a really good tool for organic traffic. Now, number 11 is monetize your blog. So now that you've set up your blog and kind of gotten traffic on it, you wanna make sure that you're monetizing your blog. And when it comes to monetizing your blog, you can try things like ads, sponsorships, affiliate marketing, selling your own courses, products, things like that. You can create membership sites. There's so many ways to monetize your blog. And when you're thinking with that in mind, you want to make sure that your blog posts are related to the type of things you want to promote or sell. Usually it should all be in a niche that you are trying to teach people or entertain people with. So you want to make sure you think with that in mind so that you can help not only others but also yourself. Now I hope you guys enjoyed these tips on basically how to create a successful blog. I know I've gone over a lot of different things, but that's really what blogging encompasses. There's so many different moving parts when it comes to this business because it's not just writing, as you can see, right? You got to drive traffic, you got to start monetizing it, you got to start designing it, and then you got to start writing your post the right way. And the more you do it, the more you learn though. So that's why I really advocate to just get started. Now I also offer a free course. Make sure to check that out in the link below. It's called the 5-Day Money Making Blog Crash Course. It teaches you everything from starting your blog to designing your blog to writing your post, driving traffic, and monetizing your blog. And there's just so much in it that you can start learning from right away to get some good basics on how to set up your blog for success. So make sure to check that out in the link below. It's all completely free for you guys, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Now I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash that like button. Let me know in the comments below what is your biggest struggle when it comes to blogging. And make sure to subscribe, hit that bell button to be notified of my latest videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.